folks, and welcome to our channel. Lovely to have you here. Apologies, when I did the the March wrap up for the royal family, I totally missed my mind, left my mind, that it was also going to be a year since Catherine Princess of Wales announced the cancer last year on the 23rd of March. And I was like, literally, oh my God, I hope they don't think how rude I am. It literally left my mind. So I'm going to do this video. And actually, it feels better to do this video instead of that video because we can spend more space on it, or time on it. Oh my God. Um, this isn't just going to be about looking at Catherine, though. It's going to be about looking at what came up for the Divine Feminine last year. Because remember, Catherine isn't just a princess, she's a human being. And she's not just a human being, she is a representation of the Divine Feminine. She's also a representation of the Divine Feminine in healing, as we all are. Now, if you're a woman right now, you will be going through a dark night of the soul because we know that the feminine has been abused in so many ways. She's neglected herself, she's lost herself, she's let herself go. When I mean let herself go, it's not about how she looks, it's about her needs, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And when I was looking back on this, and the date got me because the date this year, 23rd of March, which is when you'll be watching this, because this video is going live then. I am not here because I will be at a cacao ceremony today. But the 23rd of March this year, 2025, is actually about heart healing, which is why the cacao ceremony is on it. So last year, when that cancer was announced, but I will also be referring to it as the cancer, not her cancer, because we don't do that kind of shit where we go her illness, her cancer, or my illness, because when you do that, you actually make it theirs or make it your own. So it's going to be the cancer. When she announced the cancer last year, and one of the things that was shown to me this morning was it was very similar to the death of Diana. As a woman, and I'm going to be sharing some of my own personal experiences because to make it more relatable, as a woman, around about that time, it became a portal for me, as well as many other women, of actually having to look at our own mortality. Because here was a woman who was incredibly rich, incredibly slim, incredibly fit, will have had an incredible diet, had access to all the natural fruits and vegetables, etc. The best personal trainers, no money worries, etc. And here she was sharing that she had an illness. And it opened something up for me as well. And what my guide showed me this morning was that it was a very similar portal to the one with Diana. That Diana obviously died in a car crash, and it was a heart opening, which is why people sobbed in the street. But before we start, I've got some Blue Lotus tea to drink with you all. Let's pour, because it's been brewing for quite some time. I've just recently started having Blue Lotus tea, and it's quite nice. Blue lotus apparently originates from Egypt. If you think about the lotus flower. So, cheers. Is it too hot? I don't think so. Very nice. It wasn't just about a princess having a cancer diagnosis, it was something much deeper. And many women will have had profound experiences back then without even realizing it. Maybe profound experiences where they had to look at their own mortality, their own needs, their own life, their own story, etc. And in order to bring healing on a level of which we've never experienced before, and also how we treat each other as well came up last year. So that's what I was shown this morning. It wasn't just a news item, it was something profound for the Divine Feminine to go through. And it's still going because that's my doorbell, by the way. We're both trying to film today and the doorbell just keeps going. Anyway, it keeps going as well. I mean, Catherine is showing us a lot, as is Meghan as well. Catherine is showing us a lot, and she will continue to show us a lot until her death, until after her death. Just Diana actually has. Because even though Diana died 30 years ago, or just coming to that mark, it'll be interesting actually. So that'll be 2030, 2027, 2027, right? Put 2037 in your diaries. I know that's a long way off, but it'll be 2027. God, yeah. So a couple of years' time, that'll be a big year for the royal family, energetically, and possibly 2037 as well. Um, so it's about healing those wounds and healing those wounds which we carry, and the fact that she's continuing to show us that it's okay to step down, it's okay to go slow. It's whether you're a princess, a cleaner, a single mum, a duchess, a CEO, it's okay to say, actually, my children need me, or it's okay to say, my health needs me. That's interesting. My health needs me because our health needs us, because without us, there isn't any health. So I just thought that was an interesting thing to bring up and be shown. Okay, so let's pull some cards for Catherine, where she was this time last year, and we'll pull some cards for where she is this time, as in energetically, mentally, and emotionally. So this time last year, where was Catherine, Princess of Wales? Oops, the Chariot going forward, death and rebirth. Wow. So the cards have dropped, and we've got the Chariot, the death and rebirth. Do you know in shamanism, okay, when you actually walk a shamanic path, you actually get a near-death experience. And I am seeing this more and more in the collective where people are given things that take them to the brink, be it a diagnosis or an accident, in order to cause an awakening for themselves, but also an awakening for the collective. So the chariot and the death is a literal explosion of energy of being taken to the brink. And also as well with the fact that the energy of the previous Princess of Wales, Diana, and what happened there and the impact that it had on both of her sons would have also been in their minds at that time. So show me the energy of Catherine, Princess of Wales. Oh, it's exploding again. God, the cards have gone upside down. This isn't a deck that I read reverses on, so I'm not going to do that. God. Right, interesting. So the deck is going to do reverses when it is anyway. Four of Swords in reverse, which it can actually be very, very near death. I'm not saying physically, but energetically. Dark Night of the Soul, Death of the Old, the Sun. I even wonder if during the surgery, if she had a bit of a blip in the surgery where literally she possibly either energetically saw the white lights in the tunnel, um, or physically nearly died. Interesting. Three of Pentacles. Seven of Cups, which was the illusion energy, which there was a lot of illusion energy going on around about that time. The Death card has come up again, Death and Rebirth. Four of Pentacles, holding on. One of the things I'm picking up was that Cancer, Catherine had got very stoic, and stoic can be a good energy to have to some extent, but not to the modern divine feminine that wants to come through. That Catherine had started to put up with a lot of things and sacrifice herself for the powers that were, the grey men in suits, William, all of it, the structure of monarchy, the fan base, and this cancer. One of the reasons why this cancer came in was to teach her to let go, to step out of that pressure that she was putting on herself, slim wise, figure wise, how she looked. And maybe this thing where she's stepping away from telling people what she's wearing pre-event, stepping away from the gala stuff where she's got to really dress up, is her way of saying, no, I'm. A lot of women are doing this, reducing makeup, not wearing makeup, not dyeing their hair, or stepping away from this old patriarchal energy of what you must look like and how you show up, and what we do and what we do and what we do and what we do. Um, yeah, a transition. Do you know what I feel as well? I wonder if there's something that Dolores Cannon talks about in her books, and this has actually been coming up in a lot of my client sessions, actually. Queen of Swords as well, where have you heard the energy walking energy? Now there is a dark connotation to that way. It can be something darker that walks in. But let me explain. So let me get one of my crystals. This is soul essence. So this is your higher self. This is your soul essence. So imagine a bit breaks off, comes to earth, and it resides in your body. A lot of the time, this happens without realizing it. What happens is this aspect of us dies, or it's meant to come in to a certain point. So, say in this soul essence here, there's different bits and different bits of wisdom and advanced wisdom, yeah? So, this essence within us actually dies. And when this happens, you can actually be taken to death, or you can feel like you're going to kill yourself, or you can be diagnosed with a horrific illness, etc. Or you can have a trauma, a pain, or in some cases, it can just be someone's laying on the sofa, comes to, and it's like, I feel very different. Maybe it's something we'll explain further on my other channel, Claire Thackeray. So, bit of soul comes in as a baby, and this can happen numerous times throughout our life, and all of a sudden, the soul dies. But you're not meant to die. Your story's not meant to die. So you stay, and there's a transition or so as like passing the baton, and another bit of the soul comes in that actually won't take the same amount of shit that we used to take before. And this is why sometimes people can it can happen in a negative way where it's something that's not quite nice. But it can also happen in a higher way where people can have like spiritual awakenings like that, or they can change overnight. They can have been really grumpy or depressed or whatever. And this happens and this new fragment comes in and they're totally different. And I'm feeling that this has happened to Catherine. I know there's a lot of energy around she's dead. I don't think, well, I don't know for a fact she's not dead, but an aspect of her went and a new aspect of her has come back. And how that new aspect of her settles into that body, it's the same essence. It's not another soul fragment. It's another soul fragment from her crystal. So say that's Catherine's crystal, her higher self. It's all the same. Um, but it's a wiser part. It's a different part. And then that old fragment goes back and it does the releasing and the clearing. This is why everything is going on at the same time. This is why you can channel Catherine of Aragon while still channeling, talking about Kate Middleton that's still here, yeah? Because everything is going on at once. So that's what I'm feeling happened. And I'm feeling it was very profound. And I'm also feeling it was quite scary for the children because they didn't fully obviously understand what was happening. Um, it possibly happened while she was in surgery as well. Because your spirit team can be quite good at that, getting you knocked out, either in a deep sleep or all of a sudden you sat on the sofa reading your book, boom, gone. Um, this is why if ever you have an operation, like God forbid if I ever wanted an operation, you take your team in with you to make sure they hold space because good stuff can happen, but also not so good stuff can happen. This feels with Catherine as though it was good. Um, it was a real taking to the brink of death. Let me share something with you. When I did my shamanic training, I did actually a cacao ceremony as part of my shamanic training. Oh my God, and she's about to do another one. Yes. And I, at the time of doing the cacao ceremony back then, it was 2019, I had a lot of trauma and I didn't realize how much. And I had a violent reaction to that cacao ceremony afterwards, where I vomited and vomited and vomited and had horrific diarrhea for a week. I actually lost the ability to walk. I couldn't function. I would lay in bed and sweat would drip out of me. If certain memories of my past came up, I would literally shake in bed and sweat would just drip out of me. I lost 6 days. I remember Gary coming in on Friday saying, "You've been in bed all week." And it's like, huh? Oh, I haven't. It's only been a couple of days, and I literally had. Um, and I got to the point where I went to the toilet and I felt my blood pressure drop. I felt everything drop, and I was taken to the brink of death. And that's how it worked for me with the shamanic path. I mean, some people it's even worse than that. And I literally laid in bed really calmly, and it was like, it's fine, it's fine. And then I gradually came back. But I able to like kind of learn how to walk again and sit in the living room and watch a telly. And even though it was all my stuff, it was like really bizarre. And it feels like on some level she went through that. And I do wonder whether she's really going to be able to cope with the role structures and hopefully the team around her can make changes because the rising divine feminine energy that wants to come in would not feel happy in those structures within the royal family that don't allow for flow. Although I feel it's trying to change. So that's where she was, dark night of the soul, brink of death energy, possibly an old, yeah, even that. Old fragment leaves, a new fragment comes in. So there was definite walking energy, not weird, crazy, horrible walking energy, but an aspect of her soul coming in. I can't remember which book it is that Dolores talks about it, but it's through one of her clients. Let's do a card from here. This is it, and I feel strongly that it is. It's very brave of the soul to choose this incarnation to do it and to choose the structures of monarchy. Even that in itself is magical. God, look at that insight to soul. Focus, heart opening, new energy coming in. Again, this area, the stomach, the heart area. Um, wouldn't surprise me if she had to go through the cancer diagnosis as an excuse from spirit to actually give the structures an excuse so they could put her through this. So she can have this experience. If don't forget she was Catherine of Aragon in a past life. And I've just been reading about Catherine of Aragon and Catherine of Aragon, my God. As I was reading the book, it was the Alison Weir book by, it was the Alison Weir book by Alison Weir. Welcome to Claire Thackeray's channel. Um, and my God, I remember reading it thinking, no wonder Catherine had to go through that to release it. So where is she now energetically? Catherine, Princess of Wales. Where is she now energetically, mentally, physically, health-wise? Where is she? Where is she now? How does she feel? Yeah, having to defend herself. Stronger. Lovers is health and choice and healing. And more able to be herself. It's almost like, yes, she still dresses up with the suits and stuff and the dresses and the hats. But behind closed doors, I feel she's putting less pressure on herself to, sorry, my eyes watering a little bit, to dress up and show up. She's more likely to scrape her hair back like that, etc. And also, as well, having to defend herself. And like, she's not just got one to defend herself, she's got two. And that can come in with illness and great trauma and stress. And the King of Pentacles knowing her worth, knowing her worth. Two of Swords. Yeah, a period in her life where there was a crossroads energy. Um, and where do I go now with that? Where do I and even with the blindfold on? I mean, I know the Two of Swords always has a blindfold on, but it symbolizes the fact that she's got to make a decision, she is in this woman here, and not know what's going to come from that decision. She's still not sure how she is going to proceed as Princess of Wales and future Queen of the United Kingdom. Five of there is battles around this, internal battles, battles within the systems and the structures. I actually think that we're not going to see. her being queen like we've seen previous queens. Because I think there's been a shift here physically. I mean, we don't know actually what this was, but energetically. It's hard to put it into words, but it's almost like I don't. It's not that she's not fit to be queen, but she's not fit to be queen how the old queens used to reign, and with this upgrade. So it's about this new energy that's coming is very, 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 very potent, and it's not going to let her be abused or pushed around or, um, yeah. Star, look at that as well. Like I told you about, the crystal, the different fragments. Wouldn't surprise me if this isn't the start of, well, I've said about spiritual awakening, but obviously her husband's going to be the head of the Church of England. And again, where does that leave you? Because, you have a spiritual awakening, you're not going to be possibly into the old belief systems, you're going to be into the ancient belief system. Look, the ancient belief systems, the stars, the cosmos, the fool, the new beginning, the King of Cups, emotional well-being. One more card. The Tower, the clearing. Let me just move my mouse. In fact, I'm going to do another card. Three of Pentacles. Do you know, that reminds me of Megan and her beekeeping thing that she's been doing on as ever. Um, I've said in videos recently, they're both showing us in different ways how to break free, how to carry on regardless. Is there a song called Carry On Regardless? Because I've got that in my head. No matter what the system throws at you, no matter what society throws at you, this is for both women, that you can carry on regardless, that you can create. And also, I'm also being shown Diana now. So all three of these women, it was always expected, it was always only right that Diana would come in, followed by Catherine, followed by Megan, to break the systems for the divine feminine. Um, because that structure is outdated. Um, that structure was formed by men for men. That the old, I'm taken right back now to 1066 and now it all started. It was a system for men, for the patriarchy. And your queen was there to have children, give you as many sons as you could get on her. And then she lived quietly. She sent her off to, living in honorary or whatever. And if she didn't, whoosh, do you know what I mean? Whereas this structure, that's this new energy that wants to come in is collapsing that at a fast rate. Um, Interesting. Let's have some tea. Card for Catherine, Princess of Wales now. Card for Catherine, Princess of Wales now. I hate these big long decks and this boom mic. My eye keeps watering. And by the way, because I'm going on this healing thing, I'm going through a purging cycle and my eyes can purge. I'm not crying. Variance, yeah, it's still upgrading. Creating space. She's having to create space for this. Right. Future for Catherine, Princess of Wales. Next 12 months or future? Next 12 months. 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 Next 12 months for Catherine, Princess of Wales. This is interesting. I'm seeing her at a hospital bed with a little girl, and the little girl says something to her. And you and Diana says to somebody, just call me Diana. Come that story. Well, I'm hearing Kate say, just call me Kate. There's a lot of people online that can run at you when you make a blip because you've called her Kate. But I'm really feeling as it won't surprise me. I mean, she did it with Charlotte at the Christmas carol concert where she called her Shah. And I remember thinking, whoa, if I'd have done that in a reading, I'd have been blasted to Kingdom Come. If I'd have said Shah it's, instead of Princess Charlotte. And I can see the same for Kate. It's almost like actually I want that energy back, that the maiden back, not just the matron, the maiden. So next 12 months for Catherine. Justice, the balancing of the scales, the settling of the energy, the Ace of Pentacles. Fully, because when you've had when you've had a shocking upgrade, some upgrades can be shocking. Upgrades, I mean, they're going on at a rate of knots now. It can knock you for six. It can actually make you look drawn and tired. Um, but the next 12 months, she's going to be able to balance this energy much better than she has been able to. Picking herself up after the backstabbing and the betrayal that's been going on. Seven of Pentacles as well. Gardening. Judgment. I'll read these cards properly in a minute. The Devil. Getting a lot of major arcana. The Queen of Pentacles. That is the Queen of. No, it's the Queen of Wands, sorry. The Queen of Wands. That's concerning because that's right next to the Devil. And the Queen of Wands can show up as Amber Lynn. Let me just keep pulling and see what. The past. Okay, the past. I'm going to do a clarify. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do 8 cards. And the Four of Cups. Next 12 months, the offering. I wonder if she's going to hit her or William or both approach Harry over something to do with Meghan. Let me do a clarifier for this Devil card. The Tower, the Clearing, the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. There's something coming majorly over the next 12 months around Meghan and the Anne Boleyn energy. And I wonder if it's a final clearing. Queen of Wands clarifier, Queen of Wands clarifier, Queen of Wands clarifier. Yeah, the Three of Cups and Victory at the bottom. Clarifier for all of these 4 cards, please. Star, excellent. Two of Swords, excellent. So, anything that's been intentionally done to Catherine, anything that's been either via trolling, via one-upmanship or anything, this whole situation from when it first started in the 1500s, back in the days of Henry VIII, there's something coming over the next 12 months that will clear it and break that spell. That they've been faced with. I mean, I was reading in this book and it was very interesting. Obviously, it's book one of the six Tudor Queen series, and it is actually wondered whether she was poisoned, Catherine of Aragon, and if she was poisoned, it would have come from the Boleyn faction, or if not poisoned, then had something placed on her. And because how she died was just not normal. The heart was black and everything. It was just not right. And obviously back then they didn't have the tests that they could have done now. So if that stuff, whatever happened, it's going to be broken in the next 12 months. Without going into the ins and outs of what's gone on recently, or what could have gone on, it clears in the next 12 months. Let me just pull a card for what comes after the Four of Cups. Okay, Ace of Wands has flipped out. And the Wheel of Fortune, good. And the Fool. So, whatever's been done from the past, as in the past lives, Wheel of Fortune at the bottom over the next 12 months is broken. Any past life spells, any past life energy, any energy that's been sent in this life. I'm not saying that something sinister has been done. Even talking shit about someone can be bad energy. The fact that sometimes it does appear that Catherine appears, then Megan appears, etc. All of that stuff, let's just call it stuff, feels as though it is cleared this over the next 12 months, um, in some way, shape, or form. And it allows for a new beginning and a leap of faith. And it allows for a lightness for both. Yeah. Let's pull a card from this deck. Next 12 months. Next 12 months for Catherine, Princess of Wales. Kate Middleton, Catherine, Princess of Wales. Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton. Oh, there's two cards. Sacred Journey and Pilgrimage. Yeah. Breaking free. Regain your youth and fly. So what was I telling you about Kate Middleton? Regain your youth and fly, breaking free. Look through the mist, find your mystery. Look through the mist and find your mystery. Look through the mist and find your mystery. So whatever's going on over the next 12 months is her breaking free. Whether we're able to see physical examples of that, or whether it's just all itchy nose privately going on behind closed doors. Let's have a look at William. Where's William now? I won't do where William was then. I'll do it where I forgot. How long have I been doing this reading for? Do you want me to do where William was? Let's do where William was. We won't spend as much time there because it is Catherine's read. William's energy this time last year. William's energy, Prince William, Prince William, William's energy this time last year. I'm feeling it is important to actually refer to them as Catherine sometimes, or Kate, or William. That a lot of people, especially if they hold that old patriarchal energy, can get really triggered. Like it's Catherine, Princess of Wales. I know, but actually, what I'm being told by the light is that putting these titles hold a lot of pressure on souls, and we're going into energies that are breaking that, and that to be kind to them even if their ego wants you to call them that at times, it's actually nice to go, oh, Charles is on the telly, rather than Charles, Prince of what, Charles, King of England the Third, whatever. It's got to we've got to come out of that energy and stop harassing people that do. I know some people can do it as an attack. I know that people can do that, but sometimes it is just an accident or someone just doesn't know that, do you know what I mean? William last year, this time last year. Ooh. The Lovers, Eight of Wands, moving forward. Ace of Cups, love. Justice, God, he's getting major arcana as well. The Knight of Cups. Nine of Wands. God, the World. Illusion. The Sun. Right, okay, so again, sometimes in your life it looks like it's crumbling. It looks like you're in despair. But actually, everything falling apart is sometimes, every time is everything falling apart can be everything falling together. So he, last year, was being broken. There was an illusionary energy around it all. I've always said there's been many things going on there, not just one thing. Um, this was to also break some of the old toxic patriarchal energies that William held. He will have hold them. I know many people idolize William, but William will hold those toxic patriarchal royal energies. That no longer serve the humanity that he will be reigning over in the future. So this was a dark night of the soul for him to break that down, for him to become kinder and gentler. Um, and more in flow with his divine masculine and his divine feminine. He had to be taken to a crisis point. He had to be shown his dark night of the soul. And you'll find that actually with a couple. Sometimes it'll happen at the same time, or sometimes it'll happen afterwards, especially if they're meant to stay together. Because if one person enlightens and the other person stays there, they can really struggle to be with each other. Or if they want to stay together, it can be not very healthy where this person has to play it down because this person is a muggle. But he had to rise up as well in order for them to be together. Um, they had to clear a lot of denseness. I'm being shown a past. I've been doing some druid work this morning anyway. That's for another different video on Claire Thackeray. Being shown them as druids, them as in Kate and William, where they were druids. Well, I say like a king and queen, but I think druids would have been kings and queens. But let's have a look. They were round about Wales back then, so I'm being shown the Welsh border between Wales and England around that area that they'd have been on. Um, Interested, but something happened in that lifetime that also started off their own personal current stuff that they're going through. And when they became Prince and Princess of Wales, it sparked this portal off of where they needed to go back in time to clear it. Oh, I'm gonna have to Google. Do you like it when I Google? Do you know I read The Lady of Hay? I don't think that was Druid time, was it? But I'm being shown The Lady of Hay. One of you sent, let me, sorry. Oh, I ain't got the book, have I? Bloody hell. Lady of Hay by Barbara Erskine. Lady of Hay. Barbara Erskine. Glasses out here. Um, Wonder if I know this wasn't during the Druid time, but as I was looking at the Druid time, I was shown that book that one of you bought me. Let me have a look at this. Just let me remind myself. God, you can't get out on internet, can you? Does my head in at times. Oh dear. Excuse me. Erskine. Barbara Erskine, Lady of Hay. Right. She learns of Matilda's unhappy marriage, her love for the handsome Richard de Clare, and the brutal death threats handed out by King John before it becomes clear that Jo's past. So Richard de Clare, sorry, I do this all the time on here. Welcome to Claire Thackeray. Richard de Clare. Richard de Clare. Oh, Claire. Second Earl of Pembroke. Let me just read this. Second Earl of Pembroke and also Lord Leinster and Justiciar of Ireland, sometimes known as Richard Fitzgilbert, was an Anglo-Norman nobleman notable for his leading role in the Anglo-Norman invasion of Ireland. Like his father, Richard is commonly known by his nickname Strongbow. Born 1030. Children Isabella de Clare, Countess of Pembroke. Parents. Spouse Eof. I can't pronounce this name. Eof. One of you actually, this has happened to me before over this. And I can't, it's an Irish name and I can't pronounce it. But this was the woman, wasn't it? And I can't pronounce her name properly. But I think she was known as, just let me read this. After his son and heir Gilbert died, childless, before Pastor Richard's daughter Isabel declared to her husband William Marshall, I said to you in a video ages ago that, oh my God, what's his name? Why have I forgot it? The man. Oh, what's his name? Johnny. What's his name? Oh shit, how can you forget a name like that? The man, the equerry of King Charles, the fit one. That he was William Marshall. Origin issue. I'm wondering if Kate and William were these reincarnated. I'll say the names so you can have your own Google session with it. Richard de Clare, Clare spelled Clare, not like you spell my name. Um, Interesting, on 26th of August, which was a couple of days before Princess Diana died, 1171, Richard de Clare married Aoife. I apologise. What I have actually had this thing into me. I'm about to say it and I've forgotten. Rude. Interesting. So whatever, it's all so interesting, isn't it? Richard de Clare. And he died 20th of April. Let me look, let me just Google something. When did William and Kate marry? William and Kate wedding, William and Kate wedding, William and Kate. As I've typed William in, William the Conqueror's come up as well. William and Kate wedding day. Wedding day. Don't make out simple, do they? 29th of April. 29th of April, 2011. Ooh, sugar. It's yes for no. Yes, round for yes, side to side for no. Was William, Prince of Wales, also Richard de Clare? Yes. Was Catherine, Princess of Wales, his wife in that current incarnation? Yes. So, folks, look at that go. Thank you. So, yeah, interesting. I like that book. Barbara Erskine, Lady of Hay. And that's all about past life, somebody finding out that they're her and going to regression and all of that. Interesting. Aoife. That's it, isn't it? Aoife. See, it's Aoife. The name is Aoife, not Aoife. God. Um, yeah, the William Marshall energy. He is one of my most favourite historical figures, him. So, yeah. The card for that, what other card? Yeah, the star card. And even like that's got the druid vibe to it. So that's another couple of lifetimes we've seen for them. The druid lifetime. And then this lifetime. Interesting that they're having to clear a lot of stuff. So final cards for this reading at 11:01 at my time. The three ones. Great reset and all of that. Great spiritual reset. So final cards for this reading. Temperance and balance going forward. The Hermit. Going deep. Deep thinking. Releasing this trauma and pain. A big release for all of us last year. Four of Wands, a celebration. To be kinder to each other, to be kinder to the players, to allow this healing. Many people have benefited from this healing this year. We're going back to these very ancient, not, it's hard to describe it, not, we're going back to more mythical, mystical times. Um, we've been in a very dense energy with all things politics, royalty, life, love. And we're going back into variation and colour and dimension and frequency. And it's all got to smash and crack and disintegrate for it to be rebuilt again. They've got to remember who they were. We've got to remember who they were and who we were. Um, yes. What were the collective meant to learn from all of this? What was the collective meant to learn from all of this? Yeah, celebrate yourself, strength. I've got a couple of ideas of some historical reads I'm going to be doing for us. Coming back to sense of self, coming back to community consciousness. Yeah, community consciousness. Community consciousness. That it's not a them and us mentality anymore. So yeah, I've got a few reads planned up my sleeve for you on this channel. So welcome back to this channel. This channel was used to be CT's Royal Tarot, but it's changed. It's GT Tarot, which is me and my husband. But we think it's going to have another name change because I'm coming back onto this channel more and more. CT Royal Tarot is back. The historical readings are going to start gradually coming back. Obviously, it's not going to be because I have other things to do, but I am on it. And now I've got a taste with all this historical stuff coming up. We're going to look at things. There's a few things that I'm going to be reading on historical wise. So if you subscribe here and you think, oh, there's daily inspiration, that's Gary's stuff. So please do watch them because they're really good for giving you a quick uplift as you start your day or finish your day. Inspiration Corner, it's called. We're also doing a free tarot course on here where it's like literally by the end of it, there's going to be about 13 or 15 videos where literally a free tarot course where I'm going through all of the decks and all of the suits so you can learn free. So you can start off getting more confident with tarot. There is a playlist on here that is called the Tarot Course, so you can work your way through that. There's also going to be CT Tarot where I look at political things and anything that happens celebrity wise. There's also going to be CT Royal Tarot, which is back, where we're going to be doing roll readings, beginning of the month for month ahead, end of the month for summing up the month, the energies in the royal family. Anything that comes up, like we've had this Kate Catherine anniversary. I'm also going to be reading on Charles and Camilla's 20th wedding anniversary in April. So there's a lot to come. So when you subscribe to here, there's going to be various videos. It's fine. Jump into what you like and what resonates, and that's fine. But that's just explaining how the channel is and that it is going through a period of finding out what's going to work on here. So yeah, there's a lot to digest, a lot to work your way through. There's going to be a lot of regular content on here, but it's going to be daily content. Doesn't mean to say you've got to watch it all, but it's going to be a channel that you're going to get a lot of content. So if you're someone that likes a lot of content, because I know people do, this is the place to be. And there's possibly going to be a name change. It's not just going to be GT Tarot, but we're just pondering what that could be. Um, yes. So thanks for watching. Love to all. Playlist below if you want to watch your all reads is CT Roll Tarot and CT Tarot. And I will, thanks for watching. Love to all. And yes, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.